Are you sick and tired of hitting terrible iron shots and missing greens? Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson and welcome back to Get Good at Golf. If you'd like to do just that, take 2 seconds, hit that subscribe button below, and of course guys, throw a like on this video if it helps your golf. Today I'm going to give you my 3 top tips to help you not be a bad iron player, because I've been there myself. I've hit terrible iron shots, I've missed greens, I've pulled tee shots, and to be honest, it's not the place you want to be. So first of all, how do we designate a good iron shot? I think personally a good iron shot is a shot that goes the perfect distance. So here we're 140 yards out, I've got a 9-iron in my hands. Hopefully we know we're going to have a nice consistent number there with this 9-iron. How do you do that? So I think it has to be well struck. Personally with an iron shot, especially a 9-iron with this amount of loft on it, I want to have ball then turf contact. I want to take a nice little divot, and then thirdly and finally I think it has to get airborne. It has to have a nice flight to it, it has to visually look good, and of course if that's consistent, that's also going to help us hit those better shots closer to the flag. So one of the things that I see people do incorrectly all the time is a shot where you might miss one left and you might miss one right, and that comes down to club face control. So how can I control that club face? How can I make sure that this club face here is pointing exactly where I want it to? So for me, I want to make sure that I'm in control of this club face the entire time, the entire motion throughout the swing. So the first thing that I see a lot of people do wrong, and it can kill your golf game, is bang, club face straight open, straight away, pointing up to the sky. From there, that is almost impossible to return back nice and square to that golf ball and your target. So what about if I think, right, well, I know that James has said don't fan it open. The alternative to that is this. Keep it really, really close, pointing down towards your shoes, and from there again, very, very difficult to get back to that golf ball square. Also, you'll see if you do either of these, you can see how much that right arm's working, and you can see that that's going to be really difficult to get the club down to the ball and generate a nice strike, that strike that we mentioned right at the start of this video. So if I want to hit you a nice golf shot, and I want to make sure that I've got the perfect takeaway, how can I make sure that that's what I do? Because you can see there, that's all over the flag. It's gone hopefully the right distance. It might be about 4 feet away that, with any luck, but we come down here and this is exactly what I wanted to see. So the golf ball was here, we've got a nice shallow divot through the shot, and of course the club face was nice and square. So how have I managed to do that, and how can I do that correctly every single time? Well, what I'm thinking about here is it's something where there's a really good drill that you can do. You can do it at home in the kitchen, you can do it on the driving range, you can do it out here on the golf course. And I think about, right, if I want to have a square club face, what does that mean? Is this square? Is this square? Or is this square? I want that club face square to my spine angle here. So if I'm stood bolt upright, that would be square. If I was stood at 90 degrees, that would be square. But because I've obviously got that kind of nice natural lean in the golf stance, that for me is square. Now from there, I can set that club up and have the Lampkin logo pointing towards my, or Golf Pride, other grips are available, pointing towards my right shoulder there, and I know that club face hasn't then moved. I haven't manipulated it because I can't. I've taken it away correctly here, and I've taken it away by just moving my shoulders, and the hands aren't really doing too much. So once I've set that there and loaded to the top, the key here now is to keep the hands nice and quiet, obviously transition the downswing, get that lower body working, and get that club face here again. So I've gone from here on the way back all the way up to the top, down here on the way through, and you can see how that club face is again square to my spine angle. So from this delivery position here, what do I have to do, Bob? Turn. Exactly, and you weren't sure there, but it is that simple. Just turn onto it, get that handle forward, which we're going to discuss a little bit more towards the back end of this video, and of course keep that weight on the left side. From there you can release the club out, and this is why it's such a good drill that people can do, because all I'm doing is really going from here to there. Now if I'm here, you're not really going to be there because the momentum of the club's always going to take it over a little bit more, but if I'm trying to be here, you can see how that is again matching my spine angle. So it's doing all that just through this position here. So from there, all I'm doing is rotating the body. Now, in order to do this, in order to practice this, you can do it with, I recommend doing it with quite a lofted club, even like down to a lob wedge, and just think about hitting little shots. So take the club to there. Is that square? Yes, that's my check. Again, and through. And you can see obviously that ball set off bang on line. I've still got the turf interaction, and I've still got this club face is still exactly where I want it to be. So just by working through little chip shots and pitch shots and building your way through your bag with this, you can really help hitting straighter iron shots, and that obviously is key to hitting more greens. Now that's tip 1. There's 2 more tips coming here, guys, so make sure you do subscribe and throw a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far. But the second tip is very simple, actually. Think about weight transfer. Think about how easy it is to move something from a starting block. Because if I said to you guys, where do you think you want your weight at setup? In fact, guys, comment below, where do you think you want your weight at setup? I'll give you 3 seconds. 2, 1. It's not 50-50. And I know a lot of you out there will be thinking it's 50-50, but essentially, if I'm stood 50-50 here, I've got nothing to really move off. I'm almost into no man's land here. If I stand with about 60% of my pressure or weight, whatever you want to call it, on my left side or my lead side, so for a right-handed golfer, it's your left side, I'm in the starting blocks. I'm Usain Bolt in those blocks, or Johan, what was he called? Johan Blake, remember him? He was his mate, wasn't he, basically? You can move off into the trail side. Obviously, you can see how easy that is to then move off onto the trail side, and from there, because I'm now loaded up at the top of the backswing, guess where that's going again now? We're going to move back into the left side, so when we get to impact, we've got 70-80% of my pressure on that left foot, because from there, that's how I hit golf ball then turf. That's how I start to get these strikes, and that's how, of course, I start to hit those really nice pressured golf shots. Now, funnily enough, if I do that correctly, it's so much easier to have the club face square. We spoke about the square club face right at the start of this video, because the club is at the end of the transition, or the club's at the end of the sequence, should I say. So from the top of the backswing, because I'm working from the ground up, the club's the last thing to move. So the club's reactionary to your body. I'm not trying to flip it. I'm not trying to manipulate it. I'm just allowing the club to be a passenger all the way down there. So that's 2 really simple tips. And the third one for me, guys, when you are playing good golf, is let's think about that grip pressure, because so many people have really tight grip pressure. From there, that can stop you setting the golf club. It can stop you doing all sorts of things to create power. And I said right at the start of this video, if I think of a good iron shot, I want power, I want speed. I need to incorporate a lever system in there for that. And if I'm gripping the club too tight, yes, it's a very simple one. I know you're thinking, James, third tip, grip pressure. But I guarantee if you walk up and down a driving range, if you come onto a first tee and the Thursday Stableford, people will have too tight a grip pressure. Now, yes, you do need an element of pressure. You need to obviously hold on to that so you don't let go, because we've seen that as well. But I would, like, the key here is to just check if you can set the club here. If you can set the club here, you can get the butt of the club pointing down towards the ball. I guarantee you've got pretty good grip pressure. And from there, that should allow you to put all those 3 things together and start to hit, again, really nice, consistent iron shots. If I can stand there time after time from 140 yards and hit it to around 30, even 40 feet, that's going to be around tour average, which is remarkable to say. I know that's alleged because Chris does the tour averages and I'm not really sure, but I'm sure it is around that. Then just concentrate on your putting, and from there, I guarantee you'll get good at golf.